shocking investigation continues. A supernatural entity has launched a hunt for a family. Don't miss out. A shocking discovery from the family house that brings death. Welcome to Psychic Investigations. There are exclusively true and astonishing stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate high-profile criminal cases and incredible paranormal phenomena. In the previous episode, Marina from Ukraine asked the psychics for help, claiming she was desperate.
We really need the psychics to come and help us. Please save my family and my children.
The mother of 3 is certain that a ghost is haunting her family, trying to kill them. First, it appeared in their car, and Marina and her husband barely avoided a wreck.
They saw someone sitting in the back seat, but when they turned around, there was no one there.
It suddenly swerved into the oncoming traffic. I was in complete shock.
Then the evil spirit attacked Marina's husband while he was cultivating the soil in their garden with a tractor.
Something suddenly threw the tractor. He injured his head badly.
The man was hospitalized with a severe head injury, but as soon as he returned home, the whole family almost burned alive.
The firefighters worked from 10 p.m. to 7 in the morning to extinguish it.
Marina suspected that the woman for whom her husband used to work as a driver and who was allegedly in love with him had sent the ghost to harm them.
She said she would make sure I would never be with him.
However, the psychics dismissed this theory.
She didn't do it. It's not her.
Then what kind of force is threatening us?
I had a dream about a young woman. She was tied to a vehicle by her neck. She was exhausted, saying, "Always together after death." Separate words.
The psychics think it is connected to a deceased child.
That child seems to be the reason why Marina's family became victims of the supernatural force.
The psychics found that Marina's elder sister, Olha, had brought a package from the cemetery as a teenager. And the necrotic energy of that package took her life. Could the same curse be threatening Marina now?
If only we could work with that package, but it was destroyed a long time ago, and we may never know what was inside. The cards told me that the supernatural force haunting the family had nothing to do with the cemetery item.
Maya, Olha's spirit is here with us now, standing between you. She touched your shoulder, Marina. Do you feel her hand?
Yes.
She's embracing you both.
I feel warmth.
She says, "Mom, I didn't know it would all turn out this way. Forgive me."
Olha, we miss you so much. Living without you is unbearable.
I miss her badly.
And then the dead girl I'd seen before the investigation emerged. She's showing me that she too had a sister. She's trying to tell me something about her sister, for she says, wrote, suffering, and my sister is dead.
What's that supposed to mean?
The cards are showing me a family and a restless spirit.
Have you disturbed someone after death?
No.
Let me hold your hand, Marina. I see you at the cemetery and there are uniformed people with you. And a dead infant lies at your feet. What is this, Marina?
Whose infant? Did you find it?
Yes.
She called the police immediately.
Did you find a dead baby at the cemetery?
A woman's husband had died. A year later, when they were preparing his grave to put a gravestone on it, they found a strange bundle.
It turned out that the woman was cleaning her husband's grave that morning and found something strange buried in the ground.
She looked and saw something that looked like a piece of cloth. She said she didn't understand what it was at first, but she was too afraid to approach it.
The terrified woman called Marina and her mother. They all ran to the cemetery. They dug up the ground with a spade, and all three of them almost fainted, seeing what it was.
There was a bundle. We unfolded it, and there was a baby inside it.
My God.
It was tiny. A newborn.
I got so terrified.
It's simply horrifying. Who could have buried a newborn baby in the man's grave?
I still see it before my eyes, lying on its stomach, just as it was when we found it. So I decided to call the police immediately.
This is so awful.
The police arrived and took the baby's body.
They packed it into a box and drove away in the car, but they eventually closed the case. We still don't know who did it, or at least the baby's gender.
Neither Marina nor her mother was ever called as witnesses in this horrific case. The women suspect that the police were simply unable to identify the perpetrator of this terrible crime.
I'd seen that the danger to the family came because of a dead child.
Could it be the spirit of the man from the grave coming to you, Marina, because you disturbed it when you dug up the ground? We need to go to the cemetery to work at that grave where you found the baby. Let's go there.
This grave. There used to be a mound before they installed the gravestone.
I sense the anger of the man buried in this grave. He's showing me visions. I see a young woman. She's not local. She's walking through the cemetery and seems to be looking for something. She finds this grave. She has an infant wrapped in a blanket in her hands. It's a boy. Oh my goodness. The mother is strangling her son, thinking he's dead.
No, no, no.
But when she buried the baby, he was still alive. How could she even do that?
What a monster.
It's beyond comprehension. The mother killed her newborn son and then dumped him in a stranger's grave that she would never visit again.
A beast.
It's not the mother. It's a monster. I don't even know how someone could do that to a baby. But why would the woman do that?
The cards show me love and unfaithfulness.
Did her man cheat on her?
Yes, he left her pregnant. She didn't know what to do with the baby. She decided that she didn't need the baby in her life. But look what it led to. The spirit of the man buried here avenged on her because she's no longer among the living. The spirit of the man buried there never haunted Marina. He searched for the mother who murdered her baby and appeared to everyone who disturbed his grave. I was certain that the deadly danger to the entire family was connected to the dead girl I kept seeing.
But who is the young woman whose spirit, according to Jana Shulikova, is threatening Marina's family?
Do you hear that?
Jana, what?
It sounds like a woman's voice. It's very, very quiet. House. House. Go back to the house.
Is this the girl from your dream?
She says she's been giving me signs, but I didn't understand them. I must have overlooked something. I heard a knocking above our heads when we were in the house. I should have searched upstairs, but I couldn't even imagine what those people kept in their home. We need to work on it.
Yes.
At that moment, I heard a whisper. It was the voice of the dead girl again.
What's she saying?
The dead child above you.
What does it mean?
But where? 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 I feel it's somewhere here.
We are at a loss. What is the clairvoyant trying to find?
What's up there?
The attic.
Do you have a ladder?
We do, yes.
The ladder is old. The crew members support the clairvoyant. Marina and her mother look confused. They say they don't store anything in the attic.
Watch out.
Oh my.
Be careful. Jana, what do you see?
A dead child.
What? A dead child in the attic?
A photo.
A photo?
A child in a coffin covered with flowers.
Look.
Indeed, a dead little girl in a coffin. Lord, looking at this photo gives me goosebumps. Is this your picture?
No, it's the previous owners.
Marina's mother says they bought the house from an elderly woman who had long moved to another town. And this family photograph was the only thing left from the former owners.
We found it later. My husband did it when he climbed there.
Yeah, during the renovation.
He was covering the cracks and he saw the photo. But we decided not to touch it.
All the time we've lived in this house, the photo has been up there in the attic. We thought, what harm could a photo do?
But why did the girl's spirit lead me to this old photograph? And then I remembered what the cards had told me. It seems that the threat to Marina's family is somehow connected with a child. And I understood that the dead girl from the photo was the one shown to me in my dream. I see the girl. She has fair hair and blue eyes.
Who's the girl in the coffin?
I believe she was the daughter of the woman we bought the house from. Here she is, sitting with her husband.
Marina's mother doesn't know much about this family. The elderly locals who she showed the photo remembered that the parents had 3 or 4 children, but no one recalls why their little daughter died.
Our neighbors said their child had passed away, but no one knows what happened to her.
The card showed me that the danger to Marina's family was linked to the death of the girl in the photograph. I was confused. What did the girl from my dream have to do with all of this?
Is this girl's spirit coming to our house?
Look, my mirror is showing me scenes from the life of this family in the photo. A father, a mother, and children. They're walking in the forest, picking mushrooms. I hear their laughter. This family is like a single entity. They can't be without one another, but tragedy struck their home.
Sudden death. The child died from some illness, something with her head. Probably meningitis or something like that.
The little one couldn't be saved, and it was a terrible tragedy for the family. But it's not the girl's spirit who's haunting you. Jana, wait. Remember what the girl from your dream said. You told me this morning.
When you see the child in the coffin, look what's behind it. The parents.
Her parents are behind it. Could they be the root of the problem?
However, I felt I needed to look for something else. And then it dawned on me. Behind it meant on the other side of the photo. That's where the answer is. Wait.
Give me a knife or something sharp. Hurry.
Marina, bring something.
Just a moment. What's behind it? And what's inside?
Everyone's holding their breath.
I don't believe it. There's something written there.
We will all be with you after death.
We promise. Always yours. Your mom, dad, brother, and sister. Did you see this inscription before? Did you know about it?
No, how could we?
No.
Of course not. Who would look there?
It's so creepy. We had no idea there was a message written on the other side of the photo. The discovery was so shocking.
I sense that the supernatural entity keeps coming to your home because of this photograph.
Oh.
I'm stunned. Keeping a photo of strangers in your home. especially with a deceased person in it.
But how could we know? How could we know what it is?
Clearly, both women are shocked. But what does all this mean? What is the connection between the message on the opposite side of the photo and what's happening to Marina's family?
The handwriting seems to be a woman's. The girl's mother wrote this.
You'd think there's nothing so scary about these words. But I felt that the promise made by the family members in their tears of pain to the dead girl had become a fatal oath.
And its consequences were horrifying. I see a young woman. She's tied to a vehicle with a rope.
Is it the girl from your dream?
She was tied to the vehicle by her neck.
You saw her spirit all day today. Who is she? What's her connection to the message on the photo? And why is she tied to a vehicle?
I see the vehicle better now. It's big, something like a truck or a van. I see the girl approaching it. She's in such shock and she hangs herself.
How? On the truck? What are you talking about?
That's the daughter of the woman from the photo.
The second daughter of the former owner of the house? Did she kill herself?
Yes.
That's just horrifying. Wait, I see that she did it because of her husband's unfaithfulness.
Yes, he cheated on her.
The terrible story told by the women stunned everyone. Marina and her mother learned about the tragedy that happened to the ex-owner's daughter from their common acquaintances.
So she got married and lived with her husband. And one day, while he was at work, someone told her that he was cheating on her.
They told her he'd been seen in a field with another woman in his truck.
And she decided to check it. She came and saw her husband with his mistress in the truck, but said nothing. And then she simply hanged herself right on the side of the truck, in which her husband and his mistress were.
She couldn't bear what she'd seen. What a nightmare.
Yes, she loved him a lot.
What was her name?
Tonia.
Is it her?
Yes.
She was the sister of the girl in the coffin. She did it when she grew up. Wait, I sense that their mother lost another child.
She also had a son. He was murdered.
Did this happen before his sister's suicide?
Yes. This woman, was preparing to send him to the army. He went somewhere to the border with Moldova, and there he was killed.
I was stunned by the story of the family in all the photograph. The mother buried her 3 children, and it turned out that her husband had also been long gone.
It's absolutely awful, but how does all this relate to Marina and her family? Why are their lives in mortal danger? And what does the message on the photo have to do with it?
The card said that it was the spirit of the girl who committed suicide that posed the mortal danger to Marina's family.
And then I realized everything. It's all about her suicide and the oath we found on the photo. It said that after death, all the family members would be together. But that's impossible. When the girl killed herself, her soul remained in this world forever. Do you understand that the spirits of her little sister, brother, and father were forced to return to her in the living world, all because of the oath they took?
They're suffering because they can't go.
Their souls are at the place where she took her life.
And the dead girl herself is in great distress. She regrets losing her life and doesn't want her loved ones to suffer because she loves them very much. She cried and screamed, "I can't stand it anymore. They're all suffering because of me."
So she's coming to this house, but not to harm you. You hear steps in the attic, don't you?
Yes.
Her spirit is trying to show you the photo. She wants you to destroy it, to break the oath forever.
The girl was trying to tell me all day that the whole issue was with this photograph and the message on it, but I only heard fragments and didn't understand her.
She doesn't wish you harm, but the necrotic energy of her spirit carries mortal danger to you.
Help us. Save our family.
Please.
We need to perform a ritual so she won't bother you anymore.
The psychics ask to bring their ritual items.
Using fire and blessed candles, we summoned the spirit of the suicidal girl so she would know we want to help her. She's standing between us and you.
Tonya, please, let go of us. Don't harm my children. Go.
We burned the photo and broke the oath. The spirits of the girl's relatives were no longer bound to this world.
I feel a chill.
Yes, yes, the chill.
She's gone.
You know you can also help her, pray for her. Perhaps you will be heard and she will be released from this world.
I finally feel at peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
If this story impressed you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Many more incredible investigations by the psychics are coming up. A ghost attacks a family because of a voice recording. What is this family's fault? And will the poltergeist stop after he is asked for forgiveness? A mystical force attacking an ordinary family. Can the clairvoyance stop the chain of deaths and save the life of a little boy named Rostik? His parents, Serhiy and Oksana, are confident that something evil wants to choke their son.
You feel there's a silhouette, a shadow in the room. But once you look at it, it goes away.
Ever since, they've been saving the boy from asphyxiation. Oddly, he's always finding ropes or similar things, which are supposed to be hidden from him, and winding them around his neck.
I run up to him, but I can't undo it. I'm scared. How or why it's all happening?
According to the parents, it's impossible that the toddler, who's no more than a meter tall, could reach the ropes in the 3-meter-tall wardrobe by himself.
It feels awful to go through something like this.
Worst of all, Oksana thinks that the unknown force is also here after her husband. Recently, an electric saw almost cut Serhiy's head off. The man was cutting firewood when the tool, which had been in good condition, failed. The razor-sharp metal disc ripped from it and soared towards Serhiy.
It cracks, and a piece of it shoots at the wall.
The man avoided it and escaped disaster with a stroke of luck. Before it happened, he felt the presence of something evil behind him, and later on, his car suddenly blazed up at the gas station.
I put a nozzle into the inlet and went to the cash desk to pay. Then I heard the attendant running to me and shouting that my car was on fire.
On that day, the little boy was supposed to be in the car with his dad. However, the mother changed her mind and decided to keep their son at home.
Most of all, I'm afraid to bury my husband and my child. I'm terrified.
The couple is sure there's a curse on their family. One by one, 6 men have already died under strange circumstances in Serhiy's family, all of them young.
It can't be a coincidence. It's a pattern.
I'd like to ask for help before I've lost my husband or son. I'm terribly afraid to lose them.
The two most powerful psychics in Ukraine, Ayal Alekperov and Olha Stonushenko, have taken on the family's case.
I saw a woman clad in white, covered in blood all over. She said that she'd been strangled.
Then why is she bloodied?
I don't know, but when I asked who had murdered her, she showed me an envelope with a cut-off finger inside.
The Jinn say I will find the answer when I lay my hands on the dead woman's voice. Several hours later, the clairvoyants are at the house where Serhiy's family lives.
I am truly grateful you're here.
Come in up, please.
I saw a silhouette of a dead man with a rope around his neck next to Serhiy. He's not old. He has dark hair and an elongated nose.
This is my father.
Did your father commit suicide? Seri's father hung himself a few years earlier. The police said that the man's fight with his wife was the reason he killed himself. Nevertheless, Seri still can't understand why his father would do this.
His death was a blow to you.
He only told me that his father had died. And he couldn't say more. He was deeply shocked.
I don't remember how the year after it happened went. It's like it was ripped out of my life. My father was everything to me. He raised me and he taught me. He taught me to be a man.
Your mother's not around. Where is she?
She and Dad had conflicts and she left. She's from Russia, so she went there.
The mother left the boy when he was only 3 years old.
I lacked motherly love a lot. I felt offended.
I see an image of your dad holding some burning letters in his hands.
I once found a letter from my mother from the north in his pocket. After a while, I saw him burn the letter.
But I also see you standing next to her. As an adult, did you find your mother?
I did find her.
When Seri was 20 years old, he found one of his mother's letters that had been left behind in his dad's things. There, she wrote how she missed her son and how she wanted to see him. Her address was on the envelope, so the young man decided to find his mother, regardless of what it cost.
The Jinns say the meeting with your mother opened your eyes. You learned she wasn't actually going to leave you. Is that right?
He beat her. And she tried many times to come and take me with her.
He didn't let him go.
My father refused to let me go with her.
Seri's father told his wife that if she tried to take their son, he'd kill both of them. The woman was forced to leave the boy with his father.
Although the son eventually found his mother, I felt that they didn't talk at that moment.
It was like paying a visit to your aunt. I said hello, she said hello, and that was all. I didn't know what I was supposed to do next. I'd lived 18 years of my life motherless, so I didn't know the feeling.
Seri failed to get along with his mother. So after a while, he came back home.
At that moment, I heard the voice of Seri's father. He said, "I am here to protect my son from her. Save him." Suddenly, the spirits of different men started emerging around us. They were like zombies. I feel that the spirits that emerged here are all deceased members of your family. But why do all of them have ropes around their necks?
6 people committed suicide in my family.
My Jinns are telling me that all the men in your family took their own lives because of a woman's murder.
My grandfather had a brother. He strangled his wife on the clay stove, for which he was locked up.
The woman returned from the other world, but she only did so to take revenge on her murderer.
Yes, after he was released, he died on the same clay stove.
The Jinns say the men in your family have been hanging themselves, not because she takes them away, but because they've been cursed. The victim's mother did it.
Yes.
I can even hear the words. The woman was yelling, "You, your sons, and your grandchildren will never be happy with women and will have terrible deaths. Be damned on all of you!"
Help us, please. Lift the curse and stop this nightmare. I'm begging you, please. This is horrifying.
The Jinns say only direct descendants of the murderer suffer from the curse. Seri, his son and his father are not the murderer's direct descendants, so the curse can't spread to them.
I decided to carry out a ritual to suspend the curse temporarily. To rid themselves of it altogether, Seri's relatives must visit 7 churches, light candles for the peace of the murdered woman's soul, and help the sick and the poor.
However, as soon as the psychics finished the ritual, Hayal Alekbarov rushed inside Serhi's house.
In the yard, I felt ice cold and then saw somebody's silhouette. After that, I only heard the words, "I'll avenge my death." But I didn't have a chance to see who was saying that because the ghost entered the house.
Unbelievable. The cupboard above the room door fell. But who could make it fall? There was nobody in the house.
It was the force I'd seen. I feel this entity wants to kill you, and it's doing it all as a threat. I see crosses on the walls. These are the marks it left in the house.
There was a cross on the opposite side of the glass, on the clock. We tried to wash it off, but if you look closer, you'll still see it there.
Indeed, I see the cross. Look! Oh, dear God!
Oksana still can't understand how the mysterious cross could appear on the inside of the clock glass. It's impossible to access it with your hand or other things.
At that moment, the jinns told me we had to find the woman who had been murdered because of a love triangle. I see an image, the top shelf of a wardrobe, and there's something on it. Wait a minute. It's a voice recorder, and I feel it has a record of a female voice.
Yes, it does.
Could you play it, please?
Hello, mister. Yes, we missed you. Did you miss us? Oh, as usual.
It's apparent from the recording that it's a phone conversation between a woman and a man. But who is this woman, and why did somebody record her conversation?
This is the voice of the victim. This woman doesn't live anymore.
It was the woman my father loved.
When Serhiy was 15, his father met Valentina. Together with her two daughters of Serhiy's age, she moved into their house. The voice in the recording is hers.
I see the woman's spirit. She's tall, dark-haired, and thin-lipped. Who could it be?
Valentina.
Then I heard the woman's spirit say, "This is revenge. It's all his fault." But I couldn't understand who she wanted revenge on and why. But suddenly, she told me I could only understand it if I saw the house in which she and her husband used to live. Is the house nearby?
Yes.
The psychics and the couple go to the house of Serhiy's father.
Oh my God! I see a woman and she's all bloodied. Blood is everywhere. She's lying over here. She was murdered here.
Yes.
The jinns say she was murdered by a man who lacks a finger. Who was it?
One of my father's fingers was missing.
Did your father kill this woman?
Yes.
In 2012, Serhiy's father killed the woman in cold blood in this house.
It was the same woman I'd seen in my vision who was extending the envelope with the cut-off finger towards me. I realized she was trying to show me who had murdered her. But why would Serhiy's father cut his finger off? And why was it in the envelope?
Later, we found that after Serhiy's mother wrote a letter to her son, his father, in response, cut off his finger and posted it to her.
He wanted to return her and was thus showing that he loved her, so she would come back to him.
In that letter, Serhi's father wrote that he was ready to sacrifice everything he had only to make her return. But why did the man kill his second wife?
It was odd. The woman I saw that was covered in blood, but I didn't have the feeling that she'd been stabbed to death. She died because she couldn't breathe.
It turned out that the woman had indeed choked. The man attacked her so violently that her ribs broke, piercing her lungs. The victim's daughter told us about it, asking not to show her face.
The pathologist noted in the report that the rib broke and pierced her lungs and heart. Mom died immediately. She didn't even realize what had happened.
Wait, if your mother choked, then whose blood was covering her?
My father's?
But he hung himself. How could it be?
He tried to cut his veins and wanted to lie next to her, but the blood started to coagulate. So he hung himself.
After he murdered his wife and failed to commit suicide, Serhi's father left the room, locked the door, and hung himself in the corridor.
At that moment, the woman's spirit said, Serhi is connected with my death. How was this possible? The spirit says the reason was in. Did your stepmother cheat on your father?
Not long before her murder, Valentina found a job as a housekeeper at a single man's home. When Serhi's father heard about it, he started a nasty argument and even locked his wife in the cellar for a while.
When I arrived home, I found Mom bruised all over. The bruises covered her legs completely. I asked her what had happened. Well, to put it short, we have a basement, a cellar, so he'd locked her in it.
The daughter tried to persuade Valentina to leave, but the woman decided she'd speak to the man first. She explained to him that she'd never cheated on him. Serhi's father didn't believe her and told his son about his suspicions. Annoyed, Serhi decided to help his father expose his unfaithful wife.
I wanted to know whether she was really cheating on him.
Serhi bought his father a voice recorder, and the man recorded the phone conversation between Valentina and her employer. There's another record on the recorder in which she confesses she's been
unfaithful.
Yes. So we had proof. She was talking to her new lover. It's like him humiliating my father.
It's strange, but I didn't hear anything that could prove the woman's unfaithfulness. Besides, I didn't feel any romantic connection between Valentina and the man who hired her. I see he was bedridden, and physically, she couldn't have any sexual relations with him. Valentina agreed to work at the man's only because he promised to leave his home for her, and she was hoping to leave it for her daughters.
He told her that if she took care of him, he'd leave his 3-bedroom apartment for her daughters. She cleaned the apartment, washed clothes, and so on.
Serhi, you supported your father in his suspicions. Do you understand that the recording because of which your father committed suicide is there because of you?
I understand that it could possibly be my fault. It all happened because of this voice recorder. But I couldn't say no to him. I was ready to do anything and give him anything because I know how much he sacrificed for me. He gave me everything he had.
But I felt that in fact, Serhi didn't do it because he wanted to support his father, but because he didn't like his stepmother.
After the investigation, Serhi admitted that, as a teenager, he dreamed the woman would be a new mother for him. However, she gave all her care to her daughters.
She never cared about me. She paid no attention to me, never gave me presents, and didn't care to teach me something. I didn't receive anything from her.
A few months after they married, Serhi's father decided to send his son to study at a military school. According to Serhi, he only arrived home twice a year, but he saw that his father was giving all his love and attention to Valentina and her daughters.
He deprived me of it and gave it all to them.
He bore an awful grudge that overwhelmed him. He couldn't imagine the calamity it could unleash.
Yes, I knew that he was short-tempered. He was highly short-tempered. I didn't expect them to break up smoothly, nor did I anticipate this. I thought he might beat her up, but he killed her. I understand that it's also my fault.
Your dead stepmother's spirit is the force that's been hunting you and your son. This is her revenge for the murder.
Please help me survive it.
Help us appease her soul so she leaves us alone. Please.
The only thing we could do was summon Valentina's spirit, so Siri could apologize to her. If you do it sincerely, the spirit may forgive you.
Aunt Valentina, I am so sorry. Don't bear a grudge against me. Let go of me and my family. I didn't realize what I was doing, I swear. Please forgive me for what I did. I wasn't thinking at all.
Your apology is accepted. At the sunrise, her soul will leave your house for good.
Hell is paved with good intentions, as the saying goes. The son's present, the voice recorder, ignited a killing hatred in his short-tempered and jealous father, and the consequences were grave. If you are also impressed by the story, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, as there are more captivating stories to come.